Okie dokie. So today we loaded onto server 7988. Wasn't that many people on this server during the time, and last time I logged off, I was kind of toward the northwest corner there. And then you'll see here that as soon as I logged on and started walking around, I immediately found a base, which was not there, obviously, when I logged off. Let's check here right where we were. We were at Galkino. Galkino. So sorry, guy, that whose base I ended up eventually raiding, but your shit's mine now. So anyway, moving on. Let's fast forward through this a little bit. You'll see that I come across the base and I start fiddling around with the locks real quick. And I decide right here that I definitely wanted to break into this. There weren't too many people on the server. I think only like 5 or 6 at the time. So I figured I would have enough time to crack through this. First time actually cracking through into any base, and I just wanted to give it a shot. But eventually, after I think about 10 or 20 minutes of fiddling around with it, you'll see my my food bar there dips into the yellow, and I decided that I needed to go do a little bit of fishing. So as soon as I got through all that and ate up a good amount of food to where I was going to be good for quite a while, I get cracking this code. And the system that I used was starting at 5,000, I think, for the first one. And the second one, because I broke it at 8,000, I think the code was 8055. I decided to start at 8 again, just to maybe, it was around the same number. But after going through 8,000 all the way up to 9,999, I dropped it back down to 5,000. And a big old thanks to Rabjam on YouTube for putting up his how to break into a combo dial, 4-lock, anyway, that is. His specific title is How Long Does It Take to Crack a 4-Dial Lock in Dayz. He definitely recommended, or he recommended on the video, to start at a higher number, because his findings were that cracking into bases, usually the numbers are higher. And in this case, for both of those codes, that exactly is what it was. And I can tell you that also in some other player bases or team bases that I've joined into, usually they'll have a code that's higher too. So that definitely is something to take note of. So you'll see that when I crack the code on this base and then reroute or renumber or recombo the locks, I put one to a higher number and then one to a low number. I'm going to go ahead and blur those combo numbers out, because obviously I don't want anybody sneaking into my shit and stealing it. Sorry, guy. My new shit now. Haha. But that's, I think, just a good deterrent, to make sure that it takes people longer, So that way, I think Rabjam calculated that if you're just sitting there going from 00 to all the way to 9,999, it'd take you roughly 2 hours and 20-ish minutes, give or take, to crack into that. So obviously, the more codes you have, the longer it's going to take somebody to get into there. And the more walls you have, that means that, the more bombs or shit that they have to use in order to get in there. So anyway, moving on. Here is the part where I crack the combination, and you can just listen to the sheer excitement in my voice, as it's the first time that I ever cracked a combo in this game. I fucking got it! Yes! I was hoping that this would be the only wall, but as you see, yep, met with another wall, and then I had to spend time cracking this combination too again, which I started at 8,000, worked my way up, hoping that they had another 8,000 combo, but this one ended up being 5 something, so I should have just done the same thing, the same process, start at 5,000, work my way up, and then if not, then probably 5,000, work my way down. But either way, I still got it done, so let's go ahead and fast forward to that part where I cracked that combination as well. Yes! Fucking
but
2 times,
but
bitch. Just started with 5.
I
The noise in the background of my voice is me listening to an episode of Kill Tony. So I was just killing time while I was just running through those numbers. But anyway, after I got done with all that, I switched the lock in this one too, and locked myself in that after bringing everything inside. And here is all the loot. We can share the glory. So I got some pouches and some food items and stuff like that. Uh, I ended up taking some duct tape and those plastic bottles and making some suppressors from it. But then, as you can see, I eventually moved to the car, which had a decent amount of loot in that too. I ended up putting everything outside, all the demolition tools like the axes that you see here. And it turns out that whoever owned the base logged off in between the first and second wall, because when I logged back on after hoarding all the good items while I logged off, I went back outside and noticed that everything was missing. So here's a clip of me finding all that. So I would really have loved to have found I saw his reaction, but unfortunately we can't get that. But sorry, guy, I want it fair and square. Okay, so it's the next day. I was holding an entire box of ammunition just in case they loaded back into the base. They couldn't just grab a gun and a bunch of ammunition and shoot down any one of the doors. I also took all of the axes and the saws and everything, and I put them outside in that first section of the wall, so that way if they were inside, they couldn't use those axes just to break through either, because I also left the sharpening stones and everything in there. Oh, it looks like, yeah, oh, damn, yeah. So, whoever was in this base loaded up in this section and took everything out of the crates and just tossed it, probably. Or they were trying to break down the walls and they probably couldn't get out. They probably had to just fucking kill themselves. Oh man, I wish I could have saw that. Oh well.